Hi everyone, welcome back to Steam House. It is Birmingham Tech Week and I have an amazing panel for you today. So let's have a chat with, do you want to introduce yourself, Ravi?
Sure. Hi, my name is Ravi. I'm a founder of Vilo. It's a real-time payment and reward application for non-profit organizations and micro SMEs.
Awesome. Daniel?
Hi, my name is Daniel Komon. I'm a premium fashion designer of a brand called La Mature Clothing, and I'm also a student at BCU.
Awesome. And Kavita?
Hi, I'm Kavita. I'm the CEO and owner of Word360. That's a tech-enabled language company.
Right, amazing. Welcome to Birmingham Tech Week. Now, all three of you have very diverse businesses. So the first thing I want to hear about is the theme is global and scale up. So, Ravi, tell me about your career, your entrepreneur journey, and how have you grown?
Within a short time, we have grown massively in terms of the business side as well as acquiring the customers. And it's majorly because of all the support that we have received through the community in the Birmingham region as well as, I would say, the entire West Midlands. And it was a roller coaster journey, but we were able to raise 2 rounds of funding so far. And also at this stage, we're in a process to scale. And talking about this, making it global, so we are also exploring a different region, majorly the MENA area in the Dubai region to expand.
Amazing, amazing. So raise funds, looking to scale, now global as well. So wonderful, thank you. Daniel, tell us about your business and how you growing that. You've had your business for 3 years?
4 years.
4 years now.
Yeah. So I have a business for 4 years. It was 4 years in August. I started it with my lunch money. I just saved up like £172 of my lunch money. Then I bought my first set of t-shirts. It was about 14 t-shirts. And then my first customers were literally my friends, people in the local area that just saw the t-shirt. They saw me wearing it and they sort of just wanted it. So I started to sell to them. And then from there, I thought of making a website and got the website. I made it myself, and then from there things started to pick up. The main inspiration actually came from my older brother. It was when I was in year 6 and he was in year 9, so he made a hoodie for himself, and then in year 6 I was inspired by that because around that time a lot of people were wearing similar brands, and I thought to myself that I wanted to stand out from everyone else that was wearing like similar brands. So then I made my first garment in year 6, and then fast forward to year 11, that's when I actually started the business.
That's amazing. So hang on, year 11, you were 16? 17. So you started your business when you were 14, 15, were you?
I started the business when I was 17.
17?
But I made my first garment in year 6.
That's amazing. That's like really young. I love that it's a passion project.
Yeah.
And I love that actually your inspiration was your brother as well and wanting to stand out. That's amazing. Kavita, so tech business.
Yep.
Tell me all about your business.
Okay, so we've been around a little bit longer than that, unfortunately. We've been around for 10 years.
Amazing.
I come from a healthcare background. I was an optometrist, and I fancied breaking out on my own and starting my own business. So didn't come from a tech background and thought, saw a niche in the marketplace where you've got patients going into hospitals and they've got language barriers.
Yes.
And everything was very in person, so you'd have to send somebody to a hospital or send somebody out on location, and I wanted to kind of disrupt that model. So I designed a software that enabled people to communicate with non-English speakers in real time, either through telephone or by video, as well as in face-to-face. So our business has grown. We built our first kind of tech platform in 2016. And we didn't think our business would grow as much, and then we had to rebuild it again over COVID because everything went digital. Yes. And it really validated our business model.
So now we know a little bit more about your business. What would you say, open to all of you, what would you say are the barriers to scale? What's held you back the most?
So I think for us, the initial barrier was access to finance because the early stage And as every tech business, we need initial funds to build a product which we can test with the customers. And that was quite challenging to raise our initial seed round of funding. However, through the connections and network, we were, like me and my business partner, Rona, we always open to go into all of the events and networking, and that's how we connected with the people. And people refer to the potential investors and the angels, and that's how we were able to work around and raise our funds. So that's the initial, I would say. And the second one is definitely for any startup, and especially for a fintech. Trust is a major factor for anything.
Definitely.
So we have to raise our business profile and build that trust factors. And that's why we applied for multiple awards. And luckily, we were able to won around 8 to 9 awards so far that help us to build that credibility and trust in the region that eventually help us to get the customer that we wanted.
Do you know, I love that, what you said about awards, because I think I was talking to you about it, wasn't I, Daniel, in terms of it not only is it giving you validation, it's giving you that profile, but also that credibility, and you can say, I am a multiple award winner. That's rich, that's rich content, isn't it? So so I love that. So I guess barriers were investment, creating trust with your service users and your product users, and then actually getting that messaging out. That's absolutely lovely. No, thank you. Who'd like to go next?
Yeah, I think I resonate. That resonates. I think building a profile and credibility is so important, and we did the same thing. Got a whole string of awards behind us that gave us that credibility to then go out and market ourselves with confidence. But also the skills shortage and understanding where to find the right talent.
Yes.
As a Birmingham-based business, we were working in technologies that were quite new in the region, and so getting that talent was somewhat of a challenge. So we ended up going global. We ended up going and looking in Romania, getting outsourcing some of our development there, and more recently looking in India. But with the model of bringing those people into Birmingham again, so that we're building that economy here.
That's amazing. So reaching out for the talent and then reinvesting it here, and that's sort of that developing that skills gap and skills shortage. That's wonderful. Daniel, totally different business. What were your biggest barriers? I know you raised your kind of first initial money from savings and then friends and family. What were the other challenges you had?
One of the other challenges that I still have to this day is finding manufacturers or suppliers that are trustworthy, because a lot of the times I've spoken to them, and I've just been scammed. I've sent them the product that I want. I've sent them the money that I've sent them the product I want. They've given me a price. I've sent them the money, and they've just scammed me. So I feel like developing trust with manufacturers, especially when I'm outsourcing it in different countries, for like trust. And my aim is to hopefully one day go out to different countries and actually meet the manufacturers face to face and actually build that relationship as well. So that's one of the main barriers I've had.
No, that's great, because I'm hearing that word a lot, trust. So how do you do that? Like when you're scoping people to work with, are you speaking to your mentors? Are you speaking to your peers? What's the best way of going about overcoming that challenge?
I'll probably say just learning by experience. So for me, I've used a range of different manufacturers over time, and there's been like a common denominator between the ones that have scammed me and between the ones that I've been able to trust. So there's certain things that they will do, there's certain ways that they will talk, and I will know, okay, these are the red flags that this person had, so I'm not going to use them, and that's how I've been able to overcome it.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And how important was it to you to build that trust with your suppliers? Because obviously you went out to source talent, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was about managing the risk. I think, in any of this, there is an element of risk, and you have to be prepared to fail. I think recommendation is really important. So we went through recommendation and went with potential suppliers that came through recommendation. We only gave them a very small project, get them to deliver that, and then kind of built on that. And I think upfront payment, probably not. I think that's probably
learning, isn't it?
Yeah, if they're good for it, then they'll deliver the goods.
Yeah, and it's interesting to say that, isn't it? Because entrepreneurship is about learning, isn't it? You kind of do something, you fail a bit, you don't make that mistake again, you grow a bit, you know, and it is that cycle, isn't it? So that's really good sound advice as well, isn't it?
And it's peer-to-peer learning as well.
Yes.
The more you talk about it, the more you'll realise that actually everyone makes those kind of mistakes, and you start off and you're like, oh my God, it's only me. But when you actually come into a forum like this, like Birmingham Tech Week, and you have conversations, you're like, oh, well, you're not actually the only person. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Ronan and Ravi, sorry.
No, absolutely, the similar words, and as she mentioned, like it's very much about learning from our past experience and also through connections and network, because when they refer someone, they know there's a 2 level of trust factors. If anything goes wrong, there's 2 level of things. That's definitely one of the major point. However, other point also which I believe, like the gut feeling. Sometimes gut feeling by itself says, no, this is the right thing, that energy or vibe that we call. So like these are the things which I believe that majorly play a role in trusting a person or organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So, entrepreneurship. When you work for corporate, you have a boss, right? If I have a problem where I work, I can go to my manager. When you're entrepreneurs, you're pretty much your own boss, right? You're the jack of everything. You're your marketing director, you're your FD, you're the product manager, you're the branding manager. So how do you manage that as an entrepreneur? What's your top tips there in terms of growth?
I think that's probably the one thing that entrepreneurs do quite naturally, is that they can spin plates, you know, and the thing that drives them is the passion, the sheer passion to get things done. But I think that for me, the biggest thing was identifying my weaknesses and getting the skills in that I wasn't good at. So I'm great at the commercial side and the sales side, but where I lack is the kind of administration, the operational side. So bringing that skill into the business was fundamental to help me to work to my strengths. And I think that's the advice that I'd give, is kind of work to your strengths and outsource the rest.
For us also, we in the organization, we follow like perfection is the enemy of good. So if you're good, don't stop yourself, do it, and you can be perfect during that journey. And it's very much important to learn and sharp that skill which you're not good at, as you mentioned about work. Know your weakness and work around that. And if you don't have that, you can outsource it. There are people around our network who can help to sort out of those things.
As you guys have both said, your strengths, know your strengths, and then if you have weaknesses, find people who can help you implement those bits that you're not too good at. What I've also done is I've tried to find apps and find even YouTube and Google to just learn the things that I'm not too good at. Like it might be advertisement. I'll learn about that on YouTube, and also I'll find someone that I can outsource it with, so that I will know and have like an understanding of the things that they're doing, so that I will know like what to do as well.
Amazing. So self-learning, filling in the gaps yourself, important, bringing in resource, knowing your skills, but then filling those gaps and knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. So I must admit, one of the first things, I used to work with lots of entrepreneurs, the first thing they'd outsource is their finances. But my recommendation is entrepreneurs, know your numbers, because how do you know what you're working to? You know, you need to know your numbers. So
pay yourself first.
Pay yourself first as well.
Because if you can't put food on the table, then there's no business.
And I think I said this, didn't I? I said otherwise it's not a business, it's an expensive hobby.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No, I love that. So why Birmingham? Like, we've got Birmingham Tech happening, we're at Steam House today, you're a graduate of Aston University, BC University, you're based in Birmingham. So why Birmingham? What do you think special about the region here?
I think from my perspective, obviously I'm going to have a skew. Languages. I mean, we live in such a diverse community. Just to put a stat out there, we delivered 127 languages through my interpreting company in Birmingham last year, which is a reflection of the local demographic. We support, like I said, the public sector, so NHS, councils, local businesses, and that was the language support that they needed. So that talent is in Birmingham right now, and it's a case of tapping into those and upskilling that network, because they all have skills to give, and it's trying to mobilise that workforce, upskill them so that they can contribute to the local economy as well. So
Love
I think,
yeah, so lots of opportunity, diversity, and embracing what you have in front of you. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely wonderful. Yourself, Daniel?
I chose Birmingham because there's a lot of help for startups like the Steam House and the Accelerator. There's a lot of adversity as well, so that's why I chose it.
Amazing. and Ravi. Well, you just got off a plane yesterday from India, and you're here now in Birmingham Tech Week. Why Birmingham?
I think for me, I feel Birmingham. I have few friends like back in Silicon Valley, in US and all.
Yeah.
I feel like Birmingham is a Silicon Valley of UK, where every business and every people is more about let's grow together, let's support each other, rather than no, you work yourself, I'm going to work myself. It's more about let's go together, let's grow the entire community together. And that's exactly like being me from India. It's been around 3 years in UK. But whatever we achieved so far is because of the strong community and the support that we have received from different people and organizations.
Wonderful. So what a wonderful quote. Birmingham is like the Silicon Valley of the West Midlands. I love it. So if one last top tip that you would give to entrepreneurs looking to grow, just one top tip, what would that be?
Well, I think from my perspective, it's a really exciting city to be in right now. There's a lot of help out there. So my top tip would be to tap into all of those amazing resources, all of those levels of support, mentoring that's available in the city, because there's a lot out there to help you grow.
Awesome.
My top tip will be passionate about the thing that you're trying to start, because if you've not got a passion for it, and if you don't like it 100%, people are not going to like it. I'll also say take the risk or lose the chance, because opportunities come and go, and if you don't take the opportunity that's given to you right now, you might not get it again.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Like it will be the similar words, but I would like to mention that if any entrepreneurs have or struggling for anything, don't feel shy for asking help. Ask from your next to your colleagues or anyone, because this entire Birmingham is very supportive. So ask for anyone for anything if you're struggling for anything.
Wonderful. Amazing top tips there from our entrepreneurs. I just want to say massive thank you to the panel today. Thank you for all your contributions, some huge top tips. And we'll enjoy the rest of Birmingham Tech Week. Thank you.